Hello and welcome back. It's been a little while. Um, been a fair while. Few weeks. Been through a few builds, I think. Nothing really stuck, and this one is okay. I've put a lot into it. I was heisting for a bit, and got a simplex. And in hardcore trade, I think they're currently going for about 300 unsplit, and then split about 150. I traded one to a mate so that he could craft it up, and if he didn't succeed in crafting what he wanted, he was going to give it back. But he succeeded, so he paid me 180 for it. And I actually just ended up paying him the difference for a mage blood that he had spare at the time. So that's how I ended up with this one. I still want to divine it a bit at some point. Attributes are a bit average. But anyway, so first kind of mage blood build. I've had access to them in the past, but at the time I was playing Pathfinder and it wasn't really what I needed, so I didn't bother. But this character's got a fair bit going on. And the damage is still kind of average, but defensively it's pretty crazy. So obviously taking edge shenanigans. Just on helmet and chest at the moment. Oh, and Watcher's Eye, Period of Elements Watcher's Eye for an extra 12%, which is it's a decent amount. It's still not quite enough. My fizz hits a bit low, but it's whatever. At the moment, the content I'm doing, it's fine. I also have Jinx Juju. I'm contemplating swapping that for Defiance of Destiny. I think that'll keep me safer, just generically speaking. While mapping anyway. This might be better for other bits and bobs. Simply because it's better protection against one shots. So yeah. And the reason why I haven't swapped off it was because that Chaos Res, I think I still currently need that. Yeah, 88%. So it's currently necessary, I guess. But it's fine. I wish I actually had a lower int roll on that, to be honest. Maybe I'll try and replace that with a lower int. Maybe even higher chaos res would be good, but yeah, it's I don't know about the old Jinx Juju. I think it's worth it. I've got I'm doing specters and AG in the chess piece because the idea behind this character, and I still don't know how effective it is, but just pushing the hell out of the specters for all of their added damage that they give, especially to attacks, which I'm using Enemy Weapon of Self-Reflection as the title mentions. And I've got them in gloves with a pneumatic dagger. All damage can poison, all that lightning damage from the Perfect Spirit of Fortune then can poison, which is pretty good. I don't think I have a 100% chance to poison yet. So I really need to craft this up better. Like you'll notice that this is actually a terrible dagger. But I just really wanted that 30% attack speed from the Zeal, Deafening of Zeal. And I need that chance to poison local, which is why I've also crafted the prefix one, which typically wouldn't be the best flat damage thing. So it is what it is. But we've got, yeah, chance to poison on there, which helps a lot. Faster attacks, good, and the essence mod. Pretty decent gloves. I don't think I'll be able to improve them anymore at the moment. So at the moment it's just all about getting better dagger. My shield's still absolutely horrible anyway, but I just needed strength and some suppress. It's crazy to have such a bad shield on this character. Boots could also be optimized. I originally rolled them with the intent of doing a Storm Shroud, but I decided, at least for now, with my current setup, I think Purity Elements is better anyway. So I just didn't bother. My rings are okay. They could certainly be improved. Helmet is insane. Rog just fixed me up right there. Absolutely insane. I should probably change the implicit from Fizz taken as chaos, because Fizz taken as an elemental would actually be better, because I've got extra reduction on elemental, but it's a pretty minor thing, so it should be fine. But I will fix that at some point when I've got enough blues. I'll even try a higher quality one, I guess, and try and get a 7 or 8%, because that would be nice. Let's talk about some other things this build's got going on though. I've got Blood Notch immutable, as is pretty popular these days. I don't like. It's hard to notice how well that's working out, but I think it's well worth it. But the entire point of wanting to roll up a Guardian was actually around doing Pious Path shenanigans with a Rational Doctrine, wherever that is. Yeah, so this Guardian now is half of an Inquisitor with those two combos. So Rational Doctrine gives you that comp ground, and then Pious Path gives you the it also affects your regen, also affects ES, so you get crazy regen. And if I go to my hideout quickly, I'll be able to say how much exactly I've got. So yeah, like 1,600 life regen and ES regen, and I'm Mom EB, so it's kind of double sustain there. It's really nice. I wish I had a bit more ES. My ES pool is not great. And that more ES would help my overall survivability quite substantially. But against little hits, it's still insane to have that regen on both pools. It's just one-shots could be improved with more ES. Also, dots are quite manageable with this sort of setup, which is good. And I've even got Leaf Shade, so like, well, yeah, I think it's Lethy Shade. I think it's a annoying but appropriate naming of it. Yeah, it's a weird tree, and the damage is very average at the moment, but it is what it is, and it's fine. It's passable, especially with the AG setup that I've got going on. And maybe I should try and make him a bit more damage focused at some point. At the moment, he's got Gentle Touches, which have Enfeeble as the implicit as well, so it's Temp Chains and Enfeeble. Temp Chains is still helping the poison out. But if I had a Despair Temp Chains for him on, it'd be a bit better damage. But I just wanted to protect the characters. I prioritize defense, and defensively this character is quite good. And comfortable to play. Comfy. So I don't know, I'll jump in another Grand Highs quickly and just keep talking randomly about what's going on. Throw this shit in random tabs, as I typically do. Flask Facturation, implicit, I think that goes a bit higher though. But I'll chuck it in there for now. 50 strength, that's alright I guess. Whatever. How much are these going for? Are there any on the market? There's a few. Can I fit it in this tab somewhere? Yeah, I'll put it in there. Yeah, back to the Rogue Arbor, and I'll just. I mean, I've been doing so much highs this league, and it may not be the wisest idea, but it's. I'm not minding it, even though obviously highest lol, a bit boring, but I don't know. You can kind of just get into the groove of it, not think too much, and chill out in there, and you have the potential of getting some big ticket items. I'd still love to get another micro distillery belt. I really screwed up, and I did get a micro distillery belt a bit earlier, but when I went to scour it to start crafting it, I accidentally valed it, which is absolutely horrible, and I very sad about that one. But you know, the following day, or the following couple of days, I got 2 helical rings and a simplex, so I really can't complain. it was a worthy sacrifice for the good RNG of the following days. So, but yeah, I don't mind heist. Obviously mechanically it's a bit annoying, and most of my hatred of it is setting it up, getting gear for all of your rogue members. It's very frustrating each league and leveling them up and all that stuff. But once that's out of the way, it's chill. It's a pretty good time. I kind of prefer it to the current MF memes anyway. This is an annoying thing though when they bug out and don't actually do their job. Tibbs, don't just stand there. There you go. Thank you. Another good thing that I'm doing, and a lot of people have actually figured this out. But the Frostblink without the cooldown, Frostblink of Wintry Blast, I believe it's called, is just so good. Chuck Echo on it if you want, but at very least just fast casting support. And that alone it's a pretty good time. I also chuck in a normal Frostblink from time to time, which animation cancels and can send you a long way very quickly. And it's highly recommended to check that out. I used to be a big shield charger on all my builds, but going forward I think I'll just be doing this combo like every time. You don't need movement speed if you're doing it this way, which is really good. It's good to have, but you don't need it. Nothing really that tasty here. Don't really need instillings. I guess I'll just grab some boxes on the way out. What else is there to say? So yeah, we got Blood Notch, Immutable, we've got the Watcher's Eye with Fist Taken As, we've got Rational Doctrine and Pious Path combo. The reason why I've gone for this glove setup and everything, like, to get, like, I can't even fit in the Amanamu's Gaze duel because of how dual starved I am with all of what else I've got going on. So yeah. I don't know how to feel about that. It's weird to be so socket starved, and obviously with the Mage Blood I can't run a Darkness Enthroned either. But obviously that's a reasonable sacrifice. Just means that damage wise it's not as great. But yeah, as I was mentioning before, my AG's got the Gentle Touches on, he's got Windscream, so he's dual cursing, so I don't have to curse, which is nice. The Gentle Touches help clear a lot. You'll notice packs just kind of popping every now and then because of him doing what he do. He's got a Kingmaker on, which is, you know, just good for extra defense. And for the chest piece, a Doppelganger's Guise for the Fizz and Chaos defenses that's got going on. I've seen a lot of people using them on their characters this league too, which is interesting. It's not that common to see that happen in hardcore. But it does make sense with what I've been seeing. It's like some Hyros and stuff doing it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know what else I've got. As far as Spectres go, I've got the Spirit Fortune, I've got the Blasphemer, I've got Hulking Miscreation and Perfect Warlord. I believe Animate Weapon of Self-Reflection, the minions are constructs, just because it says the normal animated weapons are, so I presume Self-Reflection ones are also constructs, but it doesn't specify on PoEDB. So, I don't know, but hopefully. Hopefully that is working. I feel like something is I feel like I should have much more damage than I actually do. I feel like something's not quite functioning how I would expect it to. Like maybe the added damage from the Spectre isn't actually working towards the poison or something. It just doesn't feel... But I guess there's only 6 of them. So maybe that's like the the downside. Another thing I was considering doing on this character, and I might end up playing around with this eventually, is doing SRS of Enormity with a replica Midnight Bargain for the additional 6. So you have 12 SRSs of Enormity, which always crit. And just doing hit-based variant of that. Hit crit. Because I think that would pop off. It's just a bit weird because I'd have to set myself up with Petrified Blood so that I could not have to worry about the fact that it's reserving 30% of my life as much. Is that a 4-4? No, 2-4. Twizzle, Bloodthorn, Spider Silk Robe, and Ariandals. I guess Ariandals, or I could just walk back. It's a 39% pair. It's on the lower end of the degen, but that's fine. I still feel like maybe for Falling Zombies that could be kind of nice on the offhand. I don't know. I'll grab it, because I like corrupting these random replicas, because not many other people are. And if you get something nice, it's pretty premium. Like I got 59% spell damage, I think it was, on a replica Cold Iron Point. And no one's using that bloody thing. But if they were, it'd be a pretty nice thing to have. I'm yet to, I should check the image to see if like anyone's using that. Because I would be curious to see what the hell they're doing with it, to be honest. Another thing that happened today, they dropped a nice little patch. So I will mention that Penance brand is looking even better than ever. As popular as it already was, it sounds like they fixed the unintended bug, which was somewhat holding it back, even though it was already one of the strongest spells in the game. So yeah, that's cool, I guess. I was not expecting that. I thought they would leave it bugged. The bug that I'm talking about is that when you've got the Runebinder Keystone, if you have 2 Penance Brand of Dissipations on an enemy, each one will only stack up to a max of 10 stacks, rather than the normal limit of 20. If you have a single one on, it can get up to 20 stacks. And now apparently you can have 2 on an enemy and each one can be at 20 stacks, which is just, it's silly levels of power considering how strong that skill already was. Like it should effectively like double its damage in single target. And it was already Abyss, basically. Like so I'm considering having to go back to that now, but I don't know. We'll see. Are these all ready to go? And was that a fully revealed one? No, it's not, but I'll take it. Are these rolled reasonably well? Don't want to break any of them. Yeah, I think we're good. What's that one? Increased damage. Yeah, it's fine. It should be fine. I don't want to lose the rucksack. God damn, that's such a good thing to have in the game. I know, like, feature bloat is, and quality of life bloat is a dangerous area to get into, and expanding inventory space is one of those things, but god, it's just it being a separate little area is actually one of the nice things about it. And that's probably not like great from a new player experience. It might look and seem a bit clunky, but it's just good to have a little extra pouch, which things typically don't move around in. You don't have to think about, and that's where your regular bits and bobs go that you need all the time. Like just holding a bunch of blueprints in there, for instance, while heisting. It's great. Got them ready to go. Don't have to think about it.
Experience wins. Let's see. Anything standing out? Quick, before I make too much noise.
It's another thing you might have noticed. I'm doing all my blueprints just one wing, not rebuilding the extra wings. I don't think that's worth it these days. I think you'd better off just going and farming more blueprints, and not spending the ludicrous amount of markers and having to run contracts to get the reveals as well. Like, that's just tedious. I haven't run out of markers in a long time because I think it just self-sustains. As you get them, you get enough to do a single wing. Or an 8 mace. Not a 6 link. Gem cutters is probably the way to go here, because they're worth quite a bit in hardcore at the moment. Even more. Very nice. Pretty sure I'm fine through these. Yeah, I didn't notice anything happen there really. It's still pretty early days, like I'm 94, only played the character for a bit over a day or whatever. So I'm not really sure on his limits and what I want to do with him. I need to farm up a bunch of essences so I can work on this weapon and get it better, but I'll work on a different one to replace it, I suppose. Nope, and chuck that on there, why not? I was thinking about doing a bunch of labs soon too, because I feel like lab farming might be a decent strat. Because I mean, I haven't done many, and I did get an exceptional gem change, which I got online from, which at the moment in hardcore are worth an absolute shit ton. It's like 20 div for a level 1. Or maybe a little less now, maybe, hopefully, but I don't know. It's crazy. Oops. I don't actually want to proc that next box, because I want to get to the end for the reward. Sometimes the old Vince, he gets carried away with the amount of alert. So we've got Royal Scepter, Trinket, Quarterstaff, Saddest Garb, not a 6 link, Scarings. The Trinket is no good. Plus Cold is not a good one, typically speaking. Got car speed, crit, mana. I don't hate the mods on it, but it's not good enough to take. I don't think anything here is really good enough. The Scarings, maybe. I think that's a skip. Yeah, I just try not to bother. Go in here, get my essences, and then bugger off. Yeah, screw it. Don't need more blacksmith ones. That'll do.
do you need?
I wish you could kind of just click off a vendor to start walking away. But yeah, patch changes were good. Got the icons now for the vendors after you find them, which is really nice to have. We've also got a bigger delay on the DD in there, which is so well. It will be well received. It's very much needed. I personally didn't die to any of the boss DDs in there, or boss corpse DDs rather, but like, God, I seen some clips that were pretty foul. And a mate of mine fell over to it, unfortunately, just after leveling. Or fell over a couple of times to it, I think. Not great. There just wasn't really any telegraphing on it. So, nice that they seem to have fixed that, at least for now. And I hope that what they talked about in the interview recently really comes into play, where there'll be bigger telegraphing for bigger corpses. Because it's crazy to just have something that you can barely see on the ground pop and deal likely millions of damage in some of the boss situations. And if you know what's going to happen, it's fine. You can avoid it. Even though those damage numbers are probably too inflated. Like, having a giga defensive build, like, almost definitely going to fall over to that sort of thing is a bit crazy. I don't know. Some people need a way to die, I guess. So, like, in that view, it's fair, but it's just crazy. We definitely at least need telegraphing.
How do I work this thing again? Quick and quiet. I see you. We've been spotted. Should have stayed out of it. Who goes there? Halt!
Amboik, maybe. Might be an Amboik play. Damage, it's not a great roll. Got better ones that haven't sold yet. Doju's damning roll is trash too, so I guess I'll be leaving this one as well.
Noise, mate. No, I've got to make tracks soon. Great! Now you've got more loot than brains! Yeah, okay. I wouldn't have let that one go either. Out of the way! Here we go! Help! I'm too young to die!
Speed my way through here. So yeah, I'm considering a reroll, and putting the Mage Blood to more conventionally better use. Because there is so much you can do, especially with Penance Brand. You get absolutely giga damn.
Yes?
But I don't know. I like the armor stacking angle too, and I've seen a couple of chieftains that have kind of piqued my interest a little.
Easy. Any chance you could stop hitting me? Surrender or die! You sure you want that? Are you? Not quick, but not hard.
Come on, synth stuff. Love me some synth jewelry.
This'll be quick.
Couple of fractured things. Don't care for a fractured iron ring.
Security has spotted us.
That's what I'm here for.
Probably have to go sort out lunch soon, so this was a bit of a short stream, but I really just wanted to update you on this setup. I haven't seen many people playing with enemy weapon of self-reflection, at least not a poison one. I recall hearing Quinn did a little bit of one, but he gave up on it within the day. So I really wanted to just give it a good go. Because he didn't even have Spectres going. Which is crazy. Spectres are the craziest thing in this league. They're all that matter, really. Started belt, eh? Fair enough. Don't mind a magnate. Void Fangs. Tailoring Orb is probably the play here. Unless that Void Fang is rolled incredibly well. Which it is not. I'll go the Tailoring Orb. I've got a lot of these at the moment, so hopefully someone needs a bunch in bulk someday. I know there's already a mirror-worthy bloody Sadist out there, but maybe people will try and craft their own at some point. Don't know. Yeah, so I'll probably call it here. I might come back and do a bit more streaming later. If I can think of something more interesting to do. I don't think running blueprints is the most interesting content. Wouldn't mind doing a bit of delving at some point, but I don't know how capable this character is of doing deep stuff. Again, I think it's incredibly defensive, but it's hard to know without really testing it. I might... How much are these worth? Probably not much. Maybe a little bit, actually. Nah. I'll just val it, and if it gets a really good implicit, which it does not, we could have then worried about it with Tainted Catalyst. And I will put these over here. Got 14 Tailoring Orbs now. They're currently a bit overpriced, but I got bulk. And people with bulk charge more, you know? Actually, they're not that overpriced. There's one guy with 5 for a div each. I've got 14 now for 1.5, and then some guy has 19 listed for 2 div each. That's crazy. Hardcore market's weird. If you're playing softcore and wondering about what's going on there, it's just hardcore market is a bit crazy. And there aren't that many people Eiston, so it's a decent market for us. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little update, and I hope you see some potential in the setup. In fact, I could probably try and fit in a bone ring at some point, if I can not need the Chaos Res to be exactly this high. Which could potentially get a bit more damage in there. Same with not needing as much suppress on the shield. I could get a big minion shield in, which would be nice. There's still many places to upgrade this build, and I'm sure the damage can get respectable. I think the damage is okay, but, you know, these days you need quite a bit of damage in the endgame of PoE, so we'll try and get it up there. Or we'll just reroll penance and steamroll everything. But for now, that'll be it. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed this little update. I hope you were looking into Animate Weapon of Self-Reflection and stumbled across this video. And hopefully it inspires you, or maybe even saves you from the hassle of trying it yourself if you weren't that keen. But I can definitely recommend the Pious Path, Rational Doctrine combo, and all those shenanigans. Are just beautiful. Even if you're just a Guardian caster, which is kind of a thing these days. Like I could screw off the minions altogether and just. I could probably make this into a penance brander, actually. So we'll see. I'll consider that. But cheers. I'll go eat some lunch. and I'll catch you next time. Cheers for stopping by. Have a good one. See you next time.